The supporters of ISIS would always claim that they do not have the usool of the khawarij with them. Al-Adnani claimed the same, and he made mubahala with himself and his state and said, if this is the state of the khawarij, then may Allah destroy it. And what a surprise. It was destroyed. They would always claim that they do not make takfir of major sins. Now let's see what Ibn Taymiyyah writes regarding the subject. Ibn Taymiyyah says in Majmu' al-Fatawa, volume 1, page 278, regarding the Khawarij, وَالْخَوَارِجُ هُمْ أَوَّلُ مَنْ كَفِّرُ الْمُسْلِمِينَ يُكَفِّرُونَ بِالذُّنُوبِ وَيُكَفِّرُونَ مَنْ خَالَفَهُمْ فِي بِدْعَتِهِمْ وَيَسْتَهِلُّونَ دَمَهُ وَمَالَهُ وَهَذِهِ حَالُ أَهْلِ الْبِدْعَةِ يبتدئون بدعة ويكفرون من خالفهم فيها وأهل السنة والجماعة يتبعون الكتاب والسنة ويطيعون الله ورسوله فيتبعون الحق ويرحمون الخلق. The Khawarijite sect was the first to declare Muslims to be unbelievers because of their sins. They charged as unbelievers whoever disagreed with their innovations, their bid'ah, and they made lawful the spilling of blood and the taking of wealth. This is the condition of the people of innovation. They invent some religious innovation, then they excommunicate, make takfir on whoever disagrees with them concerning it. Rather, the true people of the Sunnah and the community follow the book and the Sunnah, and they obey Allah and His Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and they follow the truth. They have mercy upon the creation. You will always hear the followers of Daesh parroting Al-Adnani and saying, we do not make takfir of major sins, hence we are not Khawarij. But what's more important and more telling here is the usool of the Khawarij that Ibn Taymiyyah talks about. They create a bid'ah, and then if you do not agree with their bid'ah, they make takfir on you and they make your wealth and your blood halal. How do they do this, you wonder? Well, we're going to have to go back in time a little bit. From unbiased sources in Syria, it is fact that every commander of Daesh fought alongside FSA commanders and other rebel leaders before the establishment of the state, meaning before ISI from Mosul entered Syria. They began to have disputes and a lot of oppression happened at the hands of Daesh. They started taking people's weapons, they started taking over land, they started mistreating people. And then when they called the rebel leaders into their territory for arbitration, they end up torturing them, killing them, imprisoning them, and sending their bodies back to their families tortured. So for various different reasons and tragedies, as that happens in a battlefield with many proxies fighting for many different intentions, the rebels began to fight ISIS. Now here comes the innovation and the manhaj and the usool of the Khawarij amongst ISIS. So they said, the FSA are fighting for democracy. You are fighting alongside the FSA. You are fighting us. We have made takfir upon FSA. You are fighting with them, so you are also kuffar. Your blood and wealth is halal. We will kill you and we'll take your women and children as slaves as well. Where only 2 weeks before, the wives and the children of the FSA and the rebel groups were guests in the homes of the ISIS members, and only 2 weeks later they are killing them and imprisoning them, and now that same guest is now a slave working in the home of the ISIS fighters. This is from the usool of the Khawarij. This is their bid'ah. The moment you don't agree with their bid'ah, they make takfir upon you and make your blood halal. You're not even worthy for dawah now. You're not kafir asli, you're murtaddeen. It means they take priority over fighting the Muslims first, even over fighting Bashar. So they will kill you. Ibn Umar said regarding the Khawarij, they take verses of the Quran that were made for the mushrikeen and the kuffar and they apply it to the Muslims. How many videos have you seen where they bring verses from Surah At-Tawbah, Surah Al-Ma'idah, Surah Al-Munafiqun, and they apply it to the Muslims? they use verses of the Quran to justify their murder, their oppression, and their killing. It is as clear as day that they are khawarij. Ibn Taymiyyah talks about the mercy of Ahl Sunnah, and he said they are merciful to the creation. He didn't even distinguish between Muslim, kuffar, mushrik. He said merciful to the creation. Dawla had no mercy towards the creation. How many Sunni Muslims that prayed Fajr that morning did they slaughter, and they didn't even let him pray 2 rak'ah before they slaughtered him? They even went as far as to say, make sure the knife is blunt so it's the most painful as possible. And if you actually think about it, they do make takfir of major sins. What did Ibn Abbas say about kufr duna kufr? Whether Ta'awuz said it or Ibn Abbas. If you look into the hadith where Ibn Abbas went to debate the khawarij, what did he say? And look at the evidences he brought regarding those who accused Ali radiallahu anhu of not ruling by what Allah revealed. Look what he said, and look at the evidences he brought. Yet these brainwashed, bloodthirsty, loving of chaos and destruction Khawarijis will still stick to their